It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Thanks for staying with your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso, here on SABC3. Yes, your dose of feel-good this morning. Now, we've had ENF and Sasha Martiningo, CZ James and Stephanie B. But when it comes to iconic duos on 5FM, there will be none quite like Rob Forbes and Fix Moeti, the DJs behind the Forbes and Fix show, which has run on the station for the past 9 years. Can you believe? 9 years.
That is a long time. And sadly, later today, Forbes and Fix are hanging up their headphones as they broadcast their last show, officially making them 5FM's longest running duo. Well, they are now joining us via video call to reflect on their time at the station, as well as give us a little bit of a sneak peek as to what they're going to be getting up to after their departure. Good morning, Forbes. Good morning, Fix.
Good morning,
Good
friends.
morning.
Hey, guys. It's so good to see you guys, and so sad that after 9 years, I think for me, I've listened to you guys most of the 9 years, that I won't be hearing you guys on 5FM anymore. But Fix, you've described Rob as I read the post, you said work husband. And having a good relationship with each other must have been really key in keeping the show going for 9 years. What is it about your dynamic that we all love so much?
Oh my gosh. Yes, a work husband he is. If you've ever been married, actually, if you have a boyfriend or girlfriend, you know how the ups and downs happen. 1 minute you are in heaven and you're doing the best content in the world. Next minute you disagree on something. That's like you two sitting there in studio. I'm sure you've also have a husband and wife relationship on TV at this moment. Yep. So it totally happens, and it's the best way to describe, because it's one of those relationships that you go in and you just go, this is me, this is who I am. We do personality radio. So for the past 9 years, we've had some of the best moments on air, some of the craziest moments on air, some of our lowest as well, and we've experienced that together. And I mean, that's something that you can't really explain to someone when you're experiencing it. So it's just been, it's been life, and it's been great.
It's amazing. And I know your listeners have been on this journey with you for the last 9 years. Now, Rob, how did the direction and the vision for the show evolve over the years? And do you and Fix have a standout favorite memory or moment from an interview?
So when you come into a radio show, you sort of sit down and you decide, what are our strengths? Fix and I didn't know each other particularly well, so we had to decide, what do we like to do? And we're both outgoing and fun and quite light people. We don't like to get too serious. So we built a show in that direction. And the challenge then becomes to continuously be able to refresh the show over a period of time. I mean, as long as 9 years, you've got to keep reinventing. So, for example, our longest running feature called Liar Liar, we did it on our very first show. We're going to do it on our last show later on today. This is about the fifth version, the fifth different way we've done it. So it stayed there, but you have to keep reinventing every couple of years, because otherwise, not just the audience will get bored, we'll get bored doing it as well.
You see, you know what? When it comes to fun, you definitely have delivered exceptionally on the fun factor. Fix, you've played a series of games, and I love that Rob mentions Liar Liar, I think being such a fan favorite. I mean, one of my favorites too. Well, what have been some of your favorite games?
Ooh, there's so many. We actually, like in the past 7 days that we announced, we've actually had to bring back a lot of games and go, oh my gosh, we did that. Oh my gosh, how did we play that game again? Because that has been really a center, as Forbes says, of our show. We called it the fun show, the funsies shows, where we make you smile, we make you laugh. So to ask me one game that I enjoyed the most, I've loved all of them. From Liar Liar to our 1212, we've got this AI robot that we created on the show called Guguletu Shabalala Amandla, and she has just been like an integral part of the show. And Forbes and I said, a lot of the features that we have created, we've heard on other radio stations a few months later or a year later. So I really do say that from a content perspective, we have been in the forefront of that. We have been pioneers of really trying to create different kind of content. And I feel like we pat ourselves on the back. We need to pat ourselves on the back for really being the forefront of that in radio.
And you should.
You definitely should. And I know, you know what, Rob, everyone, you know, as one chapter closes, a new one begins. And I think everyone wants to know, what will you be up to after leaving the station? And it seems that you are also leaving radio for good based on that tweet you sent. Are you allowed to tell us a little bit about where your journey is taking you next?
Well, we've got a whole bunch of things in the pipeline. I've registered a company recently. Radio's done for now. That tweet stands. There was no, you know, I'm not announcing a new radio show somewhere else in the next month or whatever. As someone pointed out on Twitter, never is a long time, so you never know. But for now, I'm going to turn broadcasting, which is something I love, and I'm going to go a little more forward thinking, and I'm going to take the broadcast to the place where more people are at the moment. So we're going to go and jump online, and I've got a whole bunch of things in the pipeline, a whole bunch of things planned. So if you do want to know, the announcements will be coming in the next month or so. At Rob Forbes DJ, you can follow me Instagram and Twitter, and all the details will be there.
Fixie, what about you, my dear?
For my side, I would definitely say, gosh, I've been doing a lot of things while I've been on the Forbes and Fix show for the past 9 years. I launched my Fix Scholarship 9 years ago, and with the Fix Scholarship, we'll continue to provide educational opportunities towards women in the social entrepreneurial space. And we've just launched our Affirmations for the African Child, which is a real heart and passionate project of mine. I'm really excited about that. We've literally launched that last week, and I've delved into my yoga a whole lot more, so they'll be experimenting and doing more stuff on that journey. Social development is something that has been a calling for me for a long time, and it's a place where I want to explore here in South Africa and internationally. So we'll see where that takes us.
Well, I'm very excited for the both of you, and I know the last show is today, but I have to ask you if you could say, both of you, some last words to each other. What would it be ahead of today's big show?
Wow. You know what makes me sad today? Fixie, do you know what makes me sad today? Is that your background and my background are different, and we're not going to get to do this together.
Oh.
That makes me sad, dude. That's the one that's really going to hurt today, is I'm not going to get to give you a hug at the end of all of this and say goodbye and thank you.
It's got goosebumps.
Oh. You know, so many people leave the radio industry quite angry because normally you're told to get out, or they leave like, I'm not finished yet. I haven't done the radio thing that I'm meant to do yet. And the one thing I can say about Forbes and I is that we've gone, this has been our chapter. This has been amazing. We have done our duty for the country. We have served for this many, and we're good. Come in with new meat now. The old can go, the new can come in, and that's important. It's really important, and I've got to commend myself and Forbes. And I think the last thing for me is that we've done good, friend. We've done really, really good, and I am so proud of us.
One last thing, Rob and Fix, for one last time, just before you do it on your show later on, can you please give us your signature sign-off? In 3, 2, 1.
Only thing left to do from the Forbes and Fix show is say goodbye, Fixie.
Goodbye, Pixie.
Thank you so much, guys. Well, with that, we do say goodbye to Forbes and Fix on our radios, and we do wish them the best of luck on their journeys ahead. And please do make sure to tune into the iconic duo's last broadcast on 5FM. It's going to be later today between 12 and 3, right?
It's going to be between 12 and 3.